Well, Joel, first I have to thank you very much for inviting me here tonight and to have the book signing tomorrow at Four-Eyed Frog. I'm a kind of a dyed-in-the-wool Sonoma County fan. Lived here early on, and my life is kind of like the main character, Finn, who's moved around a lot. I was in the military. I was not in the special ops things that he was in, but he was an interesting character, I thought, developed actually from a short dream I had one night, and I think most of us do have some of our greatest ideas sometimes when we're dreaming or half dreaming. And he came to me, and my wife, who's here right now, Nikki, has been wonderful in helping pull this stuff out of the air. She's my muse, and we've just had a great time. We've probably read this story 70 times together and edited it, and found that every time we read it, we enjoy it too. So it's kind of like making a nice dinner. You know, if you enjoy it, other people are going to enjoy it.
You know, you start off with a pretty dramatic experience, a war experience, and I think I had asked you early on, is that an experience that you yourself had?
No, I have to say no, I have not been there. And it does kind of set up the story, but what's interesting in writing this, and maybe other authors out there or people that write things, you don't write it in the same order that, you don't create it in the same order it's written. So I kind of did the whole book and didn't have the first chapter, the prologue, as I call it. I had to create that. Why was this guy doing the things from after that on?
Right.
And I said, well, we need to set that up. And that's how we did it. We went back and thought, this is a situation that would make him the person he was through the rest of the story.
You know, I read it almost, and I've described it from time to time as a fable. And it's got lessons, it's got drama, it's got romance, it's got fun, it's got all those things. Who should read this, in your opinion?
Well, I'd like to say it's suitable for anybody out there that enjoys a light read. It's not Dostoevsky. You know, he already did his work, and there's no reason for me to recreate what he's done. It's already been done. This is something new, something fun, and something I learned. Actually, I'm a retired accountant, and you know that can be to some people about as boring as you can get.
Almost scary.
And it is, and it's something where you either do it right or you don't.
Exactly.
And the thing about this book is that I try to make it educational without putting that educational slant to it. Because I do tell people about some things that I hope they find interesting. Because I've always found when I taught accounting, if you make it fun, other people are going to have fun with it too. And that was my goal, to make it fun.
You know, it's interesting. I had, this is an aside, but I flunked the 7th grade. I went for one semester to a junior college, and in that junior college I took 2 classes. I took a number of classes, but I took astronomy because I thought I was going to love it, and I took accounting because I thought I should. In astronomy, it was the most tedious, boring class. The professor was he'd spent all his time on the island of Greenland, or the little continent. It's an island, I guess. Anyway, and clearly he'd been alone for a long time and was having trouble. I got a 68 on the final, he graded on the curve, and I got the highest A. The accounting class was a joy, and it was because of the teacher. It was really terrific. But that is an aside. Let's get back to this book. Once Upon a Magic Night, and how long did it take you to write it?
Well, to get it from inception to having it published was probably about a year and a half. And sometimes working a few days in a row, leaving it alone, going back to it, rereading it, having a few friends give me their ideas, and of course Nikki and I went back and forth on things. And it's a labor of love. I don't even want to count how many hours it took, but through that process I learned how much I enjoy writing.
Well, it sure shows, and it's a fun book. What do you hope readers, or what do you hope visitors tomorrow at 4 o'clock at Four-Eyed Frog Books, what do you hope they'll take away, or what should they expect?
I would like them to think that they have kind of vicariously looked into someone else. I mean, that's why we enjoy movies, why people enjoy biographies, is you get to look over somebody's shoulder and see the things they do. And for the 2 hours or so it takes to read this book, I would like people to think they got to know about this person, these characters, not just Finn, but Misha and Teddy and some other people in there, and they're kind of their friends for 2 hours. That would be cool if people could say that.
Well, I will tell you from one who's read it, that they stay with you. The story stays with you, and the fact that there are places where it's not exactly rights or wrongs, it's an attempt to do what you need to do, and all of the consequences I found to be very, very interesting. I love the book. I love the way it finished. So. Well, John Peterson is going to be at Four-Eyed Frog Books tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and I really encourage you to come to this one. It's a neat one. I said, because I'm working with colors tonight, that you shouldn't judge a book by its color, and then I said, but you can. And this one, the cover is really, really attractive. It is fetching, and good covers do sell books. This one is worth reading. It is called Once Upon a Magic Night. At 4 o'clock tomorrow, John Peterson will be joining us at Four-Eyed Frog Books. We hope to see you there, too. Anything else you'd like to say?
I hope they enjoy it.
I do, too.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you for being here tonight. And I'm going to try to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow.